utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at JamesEnterpriseInc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, cold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Well, surprise, surprise, DeMornay. Surprise, surprise. So Harrison's getting out of here. He had a long weekend ahead of him. But Nick Wyman back in here. A little line change here. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios here in Lincoln, Nebraska, in the capital city. But don't punt hours here, 10 o'clock. Nick Wyman, Des Moines, Pierson-El. Long time no see, Des Moines. It feels like we were just sitting here 24 hours ago talking about spring practice, NFL Combine, and whatnot. And here we are again. I promised I remember saying, I'm like, Harrison will be with you tomorrow. You can see him in the background here, but I guess I lied.
It's okay. Things happen. You can call audibles. It's all good.
Exactly. It happened probably about 20 minutes ago. It's like, all right, audible. All right, cool. Des Moines is awesome to work with. And I'm like, we hit it going yesterday. We talked about what the player's perspective for you is like in spring. I thought that was really interesting. Like, yeah, there's Harrison with the in the background. But yeah, talked about the player's perspective of spring football. I thought that was a very interesting conversation because like a lot of people don't know what it's like to be in that situation because like you said, you came in the summer and it's like, moving away from home, getting classes, getting situated. There's a lot of different things.
And I mean, from my experience, like my first spring ball, we had a new coach. So I mean, the season went the way it did. I had whatever accolades, whatever, and everything like that. But I mean, to do that, coming in with a new coach and everything like that, of course, they got a feel for guys that might be the top guys and everything like that. But you still got to go out and re-show everything. So it's not it definitely was a grind. It's not easy. It's long days, but it was very important for the fall.
I wanted to talk more about the NFL today because a lot of the combine starting to pick up and a lot of NFL news is starting to drop. I wanted to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. Max Crosby, the GM, came out today and basically said John Spikekick said he expects a defensive end, Max Crosby, to play for the team in 2026 amid the trade speculation. That's all.
I'm not believing no smoke screens. Like, this is a time people say stuff, and sometimes it can be exactly what they say it is, but I mean they can say that, then go talk to 15 other teams and something makes them move off of it. So he says that's good and everything like that. You never know up until after the draft or whatnot. So does that really move the needle? No.
Yeah, and he said the GM said that he had a great relationship with Max Crosby and that he has a great conversations with the veteran defensive end. He's been in the building every day rehabbing from his injury. But he didn't really, say that he was untradeable. He kind of left that open.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not they're guys in that world. They're very word savvy. But again, if you pay attention to certain things and everything like that, they won't give too much. So I mean, other teams are looking into that and everything like that. And I guarantee he's gonna get 5 to 10 other teams that, hey, well, how are you really sure about this? So I mean, you can't really trust too much with what is being said from guys because again, it's a smokescreen. They want to hide things. They want to they have other agendas of stuff and whatnot. If they get two first round picks and a fourth or a fifth for them, they might be more inclined to move off of them.
It's an interesting time because, the combine, all the GMs are down there, all the coaches are down there.
There's a lot of talk.
There's a lot of conversations that happen. So it's interesting. This is coming up on Tuesday, 2 days before the combine kind of gets going. And then they're all going to head down there to Indianapolis and, scout the play.
It's funny he's saying that before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before the combine. Like, he didn't come out and say that on Friday. He's not coming out and saying that. He didn't say it on Thursday. So it again, like I said, it's a strategy to things.
Yep, and you hear it a lot. And who knows, Max Crosby. I'm curious if there is a fit. I'm curious what team would he even fit with because he's still a really good player. He's only 28 years old. What if there is something? I'm curious what the trade market is for a guy like that.
It's definitely the Parsons deal. 2 first rounds, depending on who the team is. 2 first rounds, a player to add to the Raiders, and maybe, like I said, probably a fifth. For a fourth would be high, but probably a fifth, a player or 2, and 2 first round picks. They're like that it'll hurt, but it's we kind of got bang for our buck.
Another guy is 5-time All-Pro left tackle Trent Williams. He's scheduled to carry a $39 million cap number this season. He and the 49ers haven't really they're struggling per reports.
They better be careful. Trent is a silverback. That's his nickname. He has a huge silverback on tattooed on his back. He, I think, is the heart and soul of that team. If you move off of Trent, I think that starts the rebuild of like what they have. Of course, they have center pieces and major pieces and everything like that. But if you move Trent, I don't think the 49ers look the same.
Yeah, and the two sides, if they can't bridge their differences in the standoff, in this contract standoff, Williams would be expected to join this year's free agency class, which is a big deal because he's still a really good lineman. Like you said, he is the heart and soul sort of the 49ers roster. And any of the other teams would love a guy like that on their team, but also on their O-line.
Most definitely. I mean, he goes to the Raiders. I'm happy, but he's one of those players that and they've kind of, I would say every other year, like that's kind of been a situation or issue and everything like that. Him and Kyle have a really, really great, I think relationship. I mean, just going back to, their Redskins days and everything like that. So I think that's going to get handled correctly. Of course, there's the fear of stuff, and I know they're kind of tied for stuff, but again, like I said, if they move off a Trent, I think that's the first domino to fall of a rebuild.
Before we move on to some of the combine news for some of the quarterbacks, there was a little bit today. Don't Punt Hour, 402-464-5685. That is 402-464-5685. Play calling NFL news. Davis Webb is going to be the play caller for the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton giving up play calling duties. Davis Webb obviously gets promoted. He is a former quarterback. He's made his way up the coaching ranks really quick. But Sean Payton giving up play callings, the way he operates, he's usually the play caller at most of the teams he's been with the Saints and the Broncos. Him giving that up to Davis Webb, I mean, that's a privilege to have because Davis Webb, they really trust him. But it's interesting because Sean Payton's usually the guy that has been calling plays for his said team. And
that says a lot for that coach to kind of do that. I'm sure they'll still talk about stuff and go over stuff and everything like that. But the Broncos have did a lot actually, to retain that coach and everything like that. So I mean, it's not surprising with his role getting expanded and having more responsibilities. I'm not. It doesn't make me nervous. It doesn't. But I think that's something, to look at, out there in Denver. I don't think they're ready to move off of Sean. I mean, Sean has kind of brought them back into the light. So, but that's something to keep a watch on because, as you said, he doesn't let go of those responsibilities.
And you look at Davis Webb, it was only about 10 years ago he was in college playing football. He played Texas Tech from 2013 to 2015. Then he transfers to Cal for his final season. Becomes a third-round pick in the 2017 draft, 87th overall to the Giants. Jumps around from team to team. Was with the Giants in 2017, Jets 2018, Bills 2019, 21, back to the Giants in 2022. Retires at a young age. Then he's been with the Broncos since 2023. He was the quarterback's coach 23 to 24, the offensive pass game coordinator and quarterback's coach in 25, and now his fourth year going to be coaching in his coaching career. He's going to be the offensive coordinator. I mean, that speaks volumes to what Davis Webb is as not only a coach, but also a person. Because you don't really see guys move up the ladder that quick.
That fast. No, not at all. I mean, of course you have some people that, get help with stuff and everything like that. But no, it's a reason why he's probably in the position that he's in.
31 years old, offensive coordinator. I mean, we saw all the offensive coordinators change this year, and he's one of them, and 31 years old. I mean, there's some quarterbacks who are older than this guy.
I think, like I said, Sean was stuck in his ways. Their game kind of was vanilla at times and a little bit old school. So, I mean, you have kind of – this might be the new, McVay type of tree type situation. He can kind of blend and mix and, kind of grow off of that. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting. I think, the Broncos are going to definitely make some moves. I think they might actually move off of Cortland Sutton. So don't be surprised if that happens. But I think a lot of changes are going to happen with the Broncos as well this offseason.
And they're in a good spot too. I mean, they have a great defense. You have Bo Nix, who's coming off the injury. You just need to put some guys around that offense because Cortland Sutton was the number one, but they have guys like R.J. Harvey who kind of blossomed at running back.
Franklin.
You have Tony Franklin, former teammate at Oregon with Bo Nix. I think they have a lot of room to grow, and it's crazy. 1 year ago they're just kind of rookie quarterback Bo Nix. This year runners up in the AFC, and now they have so much. They have a chance to build off of that already, and it's like this is a team that had Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson not very long ago.
Yeah,
it's crazy how quickly teams can
change things around.
Like, look at the Bears. The Bears were kind of in this lost cause. Like, coming into the year, it's like, Caleb Williams. Some people are already out on him. And look at the Bears. Now, Caleb Williams makes the throw of the playoffs against the Rams in that miracle pass. And now everyone's all high on Chicago now. It's crazy how fast turnarounds come in the National Football League.
It's again, I mean, that's why guys, GMs, evaluators, and coaches get paid the amount of money they get paid to make these things happen. Now, everybody doesn't have a Cinderella story or the success that some of these guys have come, and it's actually shocking how many different organizations have kind of revamped themselves and whatnot. But I mean it's a test to their craft and guys getting things done and situated and having the right people in the building to do so. Just not the Bears, the Lions. Look at what Seattle's doing, Baltimore was doing, the Bills. You have a bunch of teams that have been really, really good for a long time that kind of moved off of coaches or what is the Steelers. They haven't had a losing season in 18 seasons, which is crazy. So it's these new guys coming in and stepping into these roles and everything like that. They have some pretty huge shoes to fill.
Yeah, 31-year-old offensive coordinator for Denver. Isn't that crazy? Sean McVay was hired as young. He's still very young, gets a young head coaching job, and he steps right into it. And the Rams are still very competitive almost every year that he plays, regardless of the 1 year when Baker Mayfield was there for a splash in the pan because of injuries. But it's interesting. But before we go to break, I wanted to talk more about the NFL Combine. Again, dates start on Thursday. Defensive linemen, linebackers go first. Friday, defensive backs, tight ends. Saturday, quarterbacks, wide receiver, running backs. And then Sunday, offensive linemen. I guess which group are you most looking forward to? Like, what do you like watching? Everybody has watched the Combine at some point. It is what it is. You see it on NFL Network. What is your favorite part about the Combine? Because the 40-yard dash obviously takes a nice stage. It's cool. Obviously.
I think, of course, the wide receiver, them running routes and everything like that. Outside of that, I think the running back group is going to be interesting because they have a lot of good guys. Seeing how guys that their feet are and everything like that, I think that's pretty good. It's always fun watching the DBs go at things and whatnot. Those are typical, and everybody's going to be watching the quarterback. So that's another one. But I definitely think I'm excited to watch the running backs. They have a lot of good guys in there, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of how things go. Who's going to be that Alvin Kamara in the third round that is still putting the same numbers as Christian McCaffrey that went in the first round. Like this could be one of those type drafts where you got a lot of good guys that they just have to go to the right place and be used right.
Yeah, you look at the running backs who got invited. You got Tron Allen from Penn State, Nicholas Singleton from Penn State. Both those guys have a chance to do something on Sundays. You saw it when they played Nebraska. Both those guys were kind of a good. Allen especially was a good 1-2 punch there. You get on the list here, Jonah Coleman from Washington, Eli Heidenreich from Navy, kind of used as like a fullback wide receiver guy from the those Navy guys, they're tough guys. And the running back at Navy, if you're getting those out of the backfield, Emmett Johnson, obviously, Robert Henry Jr. at UTSA, Roman Hemby at Indiana, Jeremiah Love, of course, Seth McGowan, Kentucky, Jam Miller, Alabama. The list get JD and Price at Notre Dame. The list goes on and on. There are a lot of really good running backs. Mike Washington Jr., Arkansas, Noah Whittington at Oregon. The list goes on and on, DeMornay. I could keep going. That's just I probably named about 10 running backs. There's probably another 10 I could name, and they catch your eye because running backs are starting to kind of get their glory back in the NFL, especially too.
It's one of those pieces. Like if you don't have it, it hurts. And I think, some of these guys can, again, I mean, who can be that Kenneth Walker for Seattle? Like, so somebody's going to find that in the draft, and they're going to plug in and play, and, it's going to take off. Washington, they're in a situation, with running back. We can see what Minnesota is going to look like. Of course, I mean, they have their backfield and whatnot, but I mean, still, the Steelers, there are a lot of teams that can provide and use that. Who's gonna be the Kyron Williams for the Rams, that type of style of guy. So who will be those guys that stand out and pop and go to the right situation and flourish? So like I said, I think that group is one of the more special groups that is at the combine this year. And like I said, that's going to be, I'm going to be paying close attention to those guys.
Moving back to quarterbacks, we talked about a lot of the guys who are throwing over the course of the weekend on Saturday. Former Penn State quarterback Drew Aller, he has recovered from his season-ending ankle injury and had surgery. He will throw at the combine. We mentioned him yesterday as a guy, is kind of a wild card because we talked about the injuries. They're going to mark down like, oh, you had this injury. We're marking that down. That is a situation where this is gonna take an effect to your draft stock.
It's an asterisk.
Yes, and you have a guy where this guy, who knows? Like, let's say he can't throw at this situation, then is it even possible for him to get drafted? Now he has a chance. He's recovered from it, and he has a big situation right from because this guy was regarded as a top quarterback back in August before the season started. Did he have the worst year? No, but he got hurt, and then that kind of just derailed because he could have gone. I remember people before 2025 were like, oh, he should go in the 2025 class if he has a chance. Comes back to Penn State, suffers the injury, and now, derails, I should say.
It's at the end of the day, it's definitely going to take money off the table for him. If he goes out there, he looks good and everything like that. Like I said, their doctors are going to do their best. But I mean, this is a test for him to show, even with all the time and everything like that, how he looks. And if he takes off and everything like that, he can definitely put himself, back in a better position. Now, it might not be as high as potential, it could have been. But again, I mean, a situation, let's just say, like the Colts, him in the third round, him in the fourth round. If that's a situation, that could be possible.
And I think the biggest part about the draft is you don't have to be a top 10 pick to be a superstar. That's the biggest thing. Like a guy like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is out of Eastern Washington, kind of a
Dak Prescott was in the fourth round. Antonio Brown.
Brock Purdy was the last guy.
So I mean, there's been a numerous of guys that, whether it's the first pick or the last pick, that have that have gone on to do great things or not.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to keep with the NFL. I want to talk about the Browns quarterback, quarterback competition. Allegedly, I mean, there is a quarterback competition, I will say, DeMornay, but I don't know what the Browns are fully doing or what they expect to come out of that with a guy, obviously a rookie they had last year, and then they have a guy who is a veteran at this rate, but he hasn't really played in some years. We'll talk about more of that on the other side here. Listen to Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for something fun tonight? Axe throwing, local beer, and great vibes are waiting at Arbor Axe House. From casual nights out to celebrations and team events, it all starts here. Reserve a lane today at arboraxe.com. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Hi, I'm Scott Miller, Business Development Officer at Midwest Bank's Lincoln branches. As a lifelong Lincolnite with over 30 years of experience in financial management, I'm here to help your business grow and succeed. My focus is building strong relationships with businesses and clients across Lincoln. Because at Midwest Bank, we believe banking is about people, not just numbers. Visit us at midwest.bank or stop by one of our Lincoln locations. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today. Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out a brand new 2026 Ford Explorer for only $39,995. That's right, under $40,000 for a brand new Explorer, loaded with extras like Copilot 360, second row captain's chairs, and more. With approved credit, receive financing as low as 2.9%. Treat mom to a new Explorer for Valentine's Day this year from Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect. MSRP $45,175.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back. Don't Punt Hour, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Located 1040 O Street in the capital city, Lincoln, Nebraska. As you are watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Allo, Channel 9. So Nick Wyman here in the studios. DeMornay Pierson-El here on Don't Punt Hour. As always, 10 o'clock to 11, Monday through Thursdays. DeMornay, we just got talking about a lot of NFL topics, but there's the one tonight. Another GM spoke out earlier today. Browns general manager Andrew Berry did not give a timetable for decision on a quarterback who would start for the Cleveland Browns franchise, but indicated that Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson will be among those competing to be the starter in 2026. They're a very unique, they've been a unique team for several years. They did have Baker Mayfield. He has, gets him to the playoffs the first time in several years, gets a shoulder injury, plays hurt. They deal him off to, goes to Carolina, the Rams, and now in Tampa. He's a franchise quarterback in Tampa. And the Browns are just kind of been there. And they put all their stock into Deshaun Watson, buying into that. And it has come back to bite them big time because they're now in that quarterback realm. For 20 years, they had the list of names, starting quarterbacks. They're kind of getting to a new era of that list of names at this rate.
Honestly, I know it's kind of wild, But what Monk being the guy there, I think you can honestly like try and salvage the Deshaun Watson stuff. Like the offense that he runs, if you go back to Georgia, if you go back to like what Lamar and everything like that, like I think Deshaun has the tools to get things done. And if I'm Monk, you got a lot of capital in that room. One, it creates competition. You're not giving anybody just whatever it is. But let's just say hypothetically, in a quarterback needy year, you can, get Deshaun Watson to play up to the potential and just kind of get some excitement. You can get trade value off of that. At some point in time, there are teams out there that, if he plays well and everything and kind of reminds a lot of people and whatnot, you can get rid of that. That relieves a whole lot of stress, upstairs in the building. So I understand that part, and that's just outside thinking and everything like that. But I mean, outside of him, you have a young quarterback room. Shador, he did better than Dylan. You have Dylan, that situation. I think regardless of whichever way it goes, I think one of those quarterbacks is getting traded away this offseason. And I mean, I'm not saying that it couldn't be Shador. It possibly could. I don't think that would be the best decision, but I think one of the quarterbacks in that room is definitely getting traded away from a team will have reached out to them about getting that. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying it may be the Falcons or whatnot, but I don't think all three quarterbacks will be there.
I mean, yeah, Todd Monken, the new Browns head coach, he didn't really commit to Sanders or anybody, but Sanders did start the final 7 games of the 2025 season, and as the team started. But when speaking in his introductory press conference, Barry, the GM, also previously said the Browns are going to be expected to search for a quarterback in addition this offseason, whether that be the free agent market, rather that be a trade, rather that be the draft. So there's going to be some kind of competition there. Regardless if you're Shador Sanders, regardless if you're Dylan Gabriel, regardless if you're Deshaun Watson, because it's a quarterback needy league right now where teams are kind of grasping at straws to find a quarterback to get you to the playoffs.
I mean, they're going to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. If they do trade one and everything like that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they draft one, later in the rounds. But I mean, that Monk has had honestly 2 MVP seasons with Lamar Jackson. He won one and lost one. I mean, so like I said, and look at all the tools and all the weapons that Lamar had, around him on the offensive side. So they have some pieces in Cleveland. They got their running back situation handled, tight end situation, situated. They got a nice younger receiver core that you can make some things, pop with that. So most definitely, if I'm them from a head coach standpoint, look, we need to get the most out of Deshaun Watson, and if we can make that trade with a team that wants him and sees potential and stuff, so be it.
And look at Deshaun Watson. He's expected to be on the Browns roster in 2026, despite not playing this past season, as he rehabbed an Achilles injury that he suffered in October of 2024. He's played in only 19 games since the Browns traded 3 first-round picks and gave him a fully $230 million in March of 2022. That feels like a lifetime ago, but that is a lot.
And people are gonna say, "Oh, that's a bad deal," and that's like, well, I'm not ready to say that just because the fruits haven't, come from it, but he's been hurt, and the system that was in place wasn't a good system from him. Like, that was a terrible fit. I think that's bad management on aligning that. Like, I like the big swing, but the offensive, I mean, with Sam Darnold, look at that. I mean, we've seen him in his career in systems that don't work. So we know what Deshaun is capable of. And I think it's still there. Like I said, I just think you got to have the right system around him that will thrive. And like I said, I think that coach definitely runs things a lot more closely to what his strengths are than what Stefanski was doing.
And you got to look at Deshaun. You obviously take away what the last couple of years of the injuries, take away what's happened off the field. Before all that, when he was with Houston and Bill O'Brien,
he was a star. He was one of the biggest quarterbacks in the NFL.
Exactly. So you take that. I mean, that is, a couple of years ago, but at the time, he had a good trajectory as he was kind of what CJ Stroud was before CJ Stroud. It's crazy that that's how it's kind of gone. Like his career, he had Clemson national title, goes to Houston, becomes a starter, is playing his way into be a top 10 quarterback pretty easily in the league, and then gets traded off. And this happens off-season stuff, off the field issues, whatnot.
Out of the organization, outside of the walls.
Yes, ends up getting hurt and he only played 19 games since that trade happened. Cleveland owes Watson $46 million in salary next season, and he has an $80.7 million cap hit in 2026, which is the largest in the NFL, but will likely be reduced via restructured that the Browns could make up to give more cap space for free agency. So, I mean, I don't know how they could trade a guy like Deshaun Watson. They put all this stock into him, and it's like,
I mean, if he restructures it, they can give him money as a signing bonus this year and next year that kind of knocks out a lot of the guaranteed money, or makes next year's money a little bit more manageable, and whatnot. And then if he plays well or does well, whatever this season or whatnot, and you get to a point next year to where again he's more movable. But like I said, I mean, it will probably take these next 2 years to where they're gonna have to give him $20+ million as kind of a signing bonus to knock off that guaranteed money on the back end.
It's curious because they alluded to maybe drafting a quarterback, maybe add free agency. I mean, the Browns, at this rate, they're kind of desperate because I don't know if any of these guys are the guy. That's the thing. You're running out of time. You have a new coach in there, Andrew Berry, your GM in there. The clock's ticking, and you need to find something that sticks. And they could be a team where I could see them drafting a guy in like the 4th to the 7th round, maybe one of those guys like a Carson Beck or something like that, and seeing what they can do with them.
I don't think that's necessarily like that. That's too many. I don't think that would be good.
The same team that had Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel on the same team tomorrow. So I don't know if it's completely out of nowhere.
And they got rid of a lot of those guys that was making those decisions. So I'm just saying. I don't know. Like I said, if I think they do add one if somebody gets traded, whether that's any one of the three. Now I can't say which one you would and everything like that. It's going to be hard moving Deshaun just because his contract and everything like that. But with preseason and everything like that, if he's going out there and looking fine or whatnot, or the first couple of games, is doing stuff like it can happen.
They also had Kenny Pickett on the roster last year. I forgot about him. Kenny Pickett got traded to the Raiders then. So I forgot that they had 5 quarterbacks who have at least some, 2 rookies and 3 guys who had at least some kind of started.
And I wonder who was making those decisions. So, like I said, they got certain people up out of the building, and I think Monk is a good dude. He's been around. He's coached a lot. He's had great guys. He's won MVP with guys or whatnot. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see how things look in Cleveland.
Yeah, they're an interesting team. I mean, they have one of the best defensive players, maybe the best defensive player in the NFL. And
he was last year.
I mean, yeah, you get the sacks like that. I mean, it's hard you can't really replace that. And he's carrying that team. They just need to put something on offense. I think that's been the Browns thing for so long. Because I remember, what was my first NFL season? I think Derek Anderson was the quarterback there. And like the Browns just always had these they had Josh Gordon. I remember seeing Josh Gordon, Joshua Cribbs. This is the don't punt hour. He was a guy you don't punt or kick off to Joshua Cribbs. He was a guy. So those are some of the Browns that I grew up on, I guess, because then I don't know. If you gave me a quiz to try to name every quarterback, I don't think I'd be able to do it, DeMornay.
I don't think a lot of people would be able to do it.
There's too many of them. I mean, I remember trying to think of the Browns quarterbacks. Like out of the last 20 years, like is Baker the best quarterback they had? I'm trying to think. Like
I would say so.
Gotta be. I mean, who else? I mean, there's so many years in there. Where
everybody else didn't have his longevity necessarily there. I remember when Jason Campbell went there for a little bit. It wasn't terrible, but I mean, it wasn't all that great either. But things just didn't work out with people or whatnot. So whether if it was on the field issues or off the field issues, I think Baker was definitely he was the most secure pick.
I mean,
they got that pick right.
I have, yeah, and he 2018 draft pick played, Tyrod Taylor obviously got the start in those first couple games. Thursday Night Football famously came in off the bench against Sam Darnold in the New York Jets and won that game for them, and then played 2019, 2020, 2021, gets a little banged up, and then, hey, he's gone. Now you got Jacoby Brissett and Deshaun Watson. And the Browns are kind of in that. We're playing, I mean, the last 3 years, they have played 3 or more quarterbacks throughout regular season play.
So I got a question for you. What organization makes worse decision, the Cowboys or the Browns?
I think the Cowboys, they have the talent there. It's just the expectations obviously are high in the NFL, but the Cowboys, the talent's there. They just never can fully put it together.
So which one is worse?
It's got to be the Browns, man. It's got to be the Browns. I have the list of quarterbacks in front of me right now. I'm looking at something like, this is a team that went from,
okay, who's worse than the Jets or the Browns?
I still think it's the Browns. The Jets got to be number 2, just based off of. But the Jets, this is a team that had Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan were a game away from making the Super Bowl. The Browns, since then, they haven't really sniffed it. They haven't even sniffed a conference championship or anything. I'm sorry, Browns fans, but I'm looking at the list of quarterbacks. We're in the same sense as guys like Connor Shaw, Johnny Manziel, Brandon Weeden, Jake Delhomme, Seneca Wallace, Josh McCown, Cody Kessler, and RG3 in 2016 were their guys. Look at the past. Obviously the names, the famous ones over the past years, 2005 to 2023. They played 5 different quarterbacks got starting jobs. Got to start. Let's see if you can name these guys. 2023. Name me
I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, absolutely not. I couldn't tell you.
It's impossible. You have Deshaun Watson, he had 6 starts that year. Joe Flacco had 5. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, had 3. PJ Walker had 2. And then Jeff Driscoll started a game. How many franchisers are starting 5? And
that's bad. That's bad management.
In the NFL, usually teams, maybe you go with 2 guys, and that's it. Maybe a guy gets banged up, and then you roll with another guy. 5 in a season, and then 20.
So in situations like that, whose fault is that?
It's probably the GM, because why?
But is it him? Is it the owner? Is it the people, the surrounding people picking the next people coming in? Is the people that are there, they're not getting the right support? Is that when people say, oh, it's an organization, it's their problem? Who do you point the finger at?
I think it's more of a collective with the Browns. I think it's more of a collective group effort in a not a good way. But I would say, the Baker Mayfield thing, I think with the Browns is what kind of kicks them, because they had the guy. 2020 leads them to the playoffs, plays all 16 games back-to-back years, and beats Big Ben and the Steelers. Big Ben and the Steelers were one of the best. They were the number 1 seed at one point for a long time, then kind of fell off as the season went down. But you had Baker Mayfield. You had the guy. You had the number 1 pick. You finally got it right. And then after those 2 years of playing all 16 games, his 4th year, he gets banged up, plays with a hurt arm, throwing arm, and they're like, I don't know if this is the right guy, even though he's toughing it out and playing tough. Sorry, Deshaun, we're gonna get rid of you. You're gonna pretty much get, he famously got cut from Carolina, ends up going to the Rams in that next year in 2022, plays a game, pretty much a tryout game, then gets him to Tampa, and then he's there. And that's a crazy scenario, because then you look at where he's gone in his career, his trajectory with Tampa, because he's the guy in Tampa Bay. Whether there were question marks right away, because it's like, okay, this guy.
Tampa Bay has question marks in other places. Also, the last 2 or 3 years, their offensive coordinator has gotten a head coaching job somewhere. So, yes. They're rebuilding stuff. Tampa's content. They're happy with the success that they're getting. They're not worried.
And you have Baker, who's been through offensive coordinators, like you mentioned. He's been through a bajillion offensive coordinators, and he's still playing pretty solid for a NFL. And the Browns, on the other hand, like I mentioned, those 5 guys, they started, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, DTR, PJ Walker, Jeff Driscoll. Well, Deshaun and DTR started games in 2024, but then Jameis Winston was there for 7 games, and then Bailey Zappi started a game there, former Western Kentucky quarterback. And then you go to this year, Shador, Dylan Gabriel. It's a different, every year it was a different quarterback almost. Like they had a different quarterback room, and somehow with whoever it was, they found a way to get on the field in some shape or form. I don't know how that's possible. Injuries happen.
How long would you say it takes for you, and this is your opinion, for you to see that, like, okay, a team messed up with that, like that was that wasn't like, is that after a few games? Is that after a year? Is that after 2 years?
I'd say like 4 years is a good thing, because like your rookie contract
overall, or just at a position.
I mean, if you're talking about a position like quarterback, I think it's like 4 or 5 years, because you look at like Sam Darnold's situation. The Jets only gave him like 2 years there, and like they switched coaches. You know, they had Todd Bowles. They literally had Todd Bowles there and had, not a great season, but not a bad season. And they, sorry, Sam Darnold, we're going with Adam Gase now, and then that doesn't work out, and they kind of throw him to the side.
So are you still waiting on the JJ McCarthy project? Like, is that still?
I mean, I trust Kevin O'Connell. I think he's a good coach, and he's an interesting one, because it's they had Sam Darnold. They had the guy. They had the guy in place. They had the most wins in history in the franchise, and they said, "Oh, we have so much stock in this guy." I just think they overdrafted for a quarterback. They had a quarterback, Sam Darnold, and they still took a quarterback. And then you have this awkward situation where, Sam Darnold's playing good. Now what do we do? And then they're just kind of this, and now obviously their GM gets out. I mean, J.D. McCarthy's still a young player. He bounced back.
Are you in or are you out? Like, you dancing around the bush? Which one are you?
I'm still in for the time being. I mean, if you're a Vikings fan, I think you kind of have to be, because look what happened.
You hope to be.
Yep, and that's what give it time. You look at Caleb Williams. People were out on him after 1 year, and he turned it around real quick. But a lot can happen in a couple of years. Trying to think of other quarterback. Who's another young quarterback I think of? I mean, Sam Darnold,
Jaden Daniels. Like,
Daniels.
I think people are gonna have to monitor that situation. You let Cliff Kingsbury go out. Like, I understand it may have been what it is, but it's like, you can't let y'all have had so much success in a short time. Like, that's one of those staple things you don't change.
Exactly.
So I hopefully we see him take strides this upcoming season or whatnot, or it can get rough in DC.
Another one I would say, CJ Stroud's kind of on that. I mentioned the 4 year. He's kind of on that 4. He peaked his rookie year, had a really good rookie year, but I don't know. That playoff game was not great. I mean, the weather, it was what it was in New England, but
I mean, they play in a dome. I mean, he was this. That was, I would say, this past season wasn't probably his best season, but he was also hurt. Yeah. So I mean, but you were also going up against a defense that finished finished second in the Super Bowl. So like, I'm not saying, like, I get how it looked, but I mean, they were terrorized. The Patriots were terrorizing everybody. Any and everybody, even the Super Bowl champs, like, they were giving them a hard time. It's just their offense just couldn't, bail them out a few times. So I'm not putting that. I mean, that statement is the same thing that people were saying about Sam Darnold last year, and now he's a Super Bowl champ. So I'm not putting that on CJ.
It's a crazy world, the NFL carousel, the combine, everything. We'll be right back. 94.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Don't Punt Hour. We'll be right back here on The Ticket.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Fans, are you craving the ultimate game day experience? Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill has your front row seat to all the action. Dive into delicious wings, juicy burgers, and ice-cold drinks, all served up with TVs covering every inch of the wall, so you'll never miss a play. Rally your crew, cheer on your team, and take advantage of game night specials every week. Stop in for a Nebraska basketball game with a party of 4 or more and receive a free pitcher of beer. Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill, right by the Lincoln Airport at 3111 Northwest 12th Street. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966. At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
That is right. One more segment here on the Don't Punt Hour with Pierson-El. Nick Wyman back in the studios here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Before we get out of here, let's talk some basketball. Nebraska basketball back in action tomorrow night against Maryland. Nebraska getting back in the win column after beating Penn State on Saturday. I guess, what are you looking to get out of this last stretch of season? Because they play Maryland Wednesday. They'll play USC, make the West Coast trip on Saturday, and then play UCLA on the next Tuesday, a late game. And then they'll wrap up the regular season against Iowa. And a game that's going to mean a little bit more because there's been a lot of words said about that Nebraska-Iowa basketball game across social media and whatnot.
I think just finishing the season strong. I mean, they got a good bid. and everything like that. You know, the losses that they did take, I mean, outside of Iowa, aren't bad losses. I mean, you got Purdue in the top 10. I want to say I think all the losses outside of Iowa, I think are ranked teams and everything like that. So just finish it out and everything like that, and take care of business, and get ready for the Big Ten tournament, and prepare for the rest of March Madness.
Yeah, it is March Madness. I mean, we've seen it in college basketball last couple of nights. I mean, there's been a lot of really games. This last weekend, Duke and Michigan playing a rare non-conference game, neutral site game. Houston, Arizona. The Big 12 has been a madhouse for college basketball. The Big 10, I mean, I'm excited for the Big 10. Nebraska may get a triple bye potentially, get to the quarterfinals right away. I mean, Nebraska in past years, they're playing in the first round and having to, last year they didn't even make the tournament. They didn't even make the Big 10 tournament. Or Nebraska usually having to try to fight their way through and pick up wins. It'll be fun. I mean, that's in Chicago, March 11th to the 15th, coming up like it always is. If Nebraska is to just be able to get a couple wins there in Big 10 tournament play, that'd be huge just for their stock, because right now they're covered around that 3 seed, 4 seed range. I mean, if they go undefeated the rest of the way, you want to think optimistic. They can go undefeated the rest of the way and get some wins in the Big Ten tournament and play some close games there. Because I'm not saying they're winning the Big Ten tournament, because that is going to be a grind. You have, like teams you mentioned, Purdue, Illinois, Michigan. I mean, maybe some of those teams are going to make the final weekend of the big dance. It's going to be a fun time. And if Nebraska gets another crack at some of those teams, it'll be a sight to watch, especially if that's like, a semifinal on national TV and Nebraska gets that kind of spotlight against some blue blood programs that I just mentioned.
Most definitely. Everything is still in front of them. And like I said, just as long as they handle business and everything like that, do what they need to do, show up and everything like that. I mean, it's, the sky's the limit to things.
It's funny, too, ironic. They're playing a Maryland team who's near the bottom of the bunker, but their coach is Buzz Williams, who is...
It's a scrappy team.
Exactly. There's a guy, Andre Mills. He's a freshman on the team. He scored 21 plus the last 2 games, and he's the 3rd leading scorer on the team. So he's kind of peaking at the right time. They are a pretty good rebounding team as well. And as we've seen, Nebraska has had their fair share of struggles with reboundings. So it could be, I'm not saying, it's a walkover game, because they just beat Iowa last week, 77-70. So, and it's Big Ten, it's kind of like Big Ten football. You better come to play, because you got to bring your best every night. There's no gimmies in conference sports in general. And you got to come to play. And if you don't, you might end up on the wrong end of a close loss, because it's Big Ten. It's Big Ten conference, baby. You better come to show up, or else something they might walk over you and make you pay.
And they might hit you in your mouth, and now when you look up and things aren't going right, clock runs out, and few missteps here, few miscues here and whatnot, and you're standing on the side that you're not supposed to be on.
Exactly. So we're going to get you out of here tomorrow, but tomorrow Harrison will be here with you. I promise it will be Harrison. I say that now, in about 9:55, I'll probably be, I'm stepping in again for three days streak. No, it was nice. Well, I will say Harrison will be here. We'll hold him to it. You can give him some slack for it, but no, it's all right. Always nice talking with Demornay. Late Night Link with Nick Wyman coming next. We'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.